Okay, this is my video to introduce my latest unicycle, which I've dubbed OneBliss. I don't make too many videos because I don't like editing, because I spend too much time in front of screens. So, forgive me, this is just going to be a one-shot, no fancy graphics. I'll go as fast as I can. Basically, this is my first tubeless unicycle, and I don't know, I know some people have done it, but this is the first one I've seen, and I'm really happy with it. I didn't think I'd make a tubeless anything, but I wound up doing that. So let me explain what I made and why. I have a 29er, which is this beast, which weighs 10 kilograms, or almost. I love it. You know, it's my schlumpf. It's got my Afro theme colors. It's got my carrier in the back. It's got a brake. It's got pretty much everything you could want. Lights, etc., etc. But what I found is I wanted something a little simpler, just for getting around town, that was really kind of basic, light, easy. And I was kind of inspired by my buddy Tom. You guys know Tom Hollub, Totally Doable. He has a 29er he calls Zippy, and that's just what it is. He's always zipping around. And so I was thinking I want to make something like that. And then I did the Mount Diablo Challenge this year. You used to see me with the basketball. I had a basketball and raced to the top of Mount Diablo. But the guy who was the fast guy was Harrison Shea, and he had a 29er that was super lightweight and fast. And he gave me some of the specs, and he turned me on to the rim company. So I'll tell you briefly about this. So this thing weighs nearly 10 kilograms. This weighs 5 kilograms, and it's not only is it light, but it's the you know, the outside weight. So for accelerating, that's really nice. So quickly, the components: KH Street Fusion seat. Basic seat post. It's a Oracle 32-inch frame with a 29-inch wheel. I've got the 3-hole VCX Nimbus cranks, some basic an HT, sealed bearing pedals. Oh, it's got an air brake. No, I'm kidding. It's not an air brake. It's actually Bluetooth. It sends a signal to the brake. No, I just haven't finished the brake yet. Okay, so why did I put a 29-inch wheel on a 32-inch frame? I did that because the Oracle 32-inch and 36-inch frames have the 125 millimeter wide bearing, as opposed to the 100 millimeter. And since the Oracle has an internal disc, which I like, which takes a little bit away from the width of where you're stringing up the lacing up the hub, I thought it'd be better to have the wider hub. Now here's the key: the wheel. This is an XC925 carbon wheel from Light Bicycle, Chinese company, but they make good, inexpensive carbon wheels. I got the 32-hole model because they only had a 28-inch and a 28-hole and 32-hole option. So you need the 32 so you can get the 32-hole Nimbus hub. That's what I did. Also, this wheel has a 2 millimeter offset, which is nice because, and it's designed specifically for people that have disc brakes. So that kind of re-offsets for the offset of the brake, so that in terms of how the wheel is centered relative to the bearings, the center of mass is in line. It's probably not a very articulate explanation, but that's what it is. The wheel was built by Josh, and his brand is Josh Torrans. So this isn't a service of unicycle.com. I had to send it to Josh and have him build it up. I'm quite happy with it. Oh, I hope that plane sound. Oh, it's a helicopter you're hearing in the background. So I actually didn't intend to make this tubeless initially, but the tire is designed to be tubeless, which meant it was so tight that when I tried to put it on, combined with apparently the light bicycle rims tend to run a little bit large, so I was going to just run this tire, which is the Schwalbe G1. It's a super lightweight tire. It's a 29 by 2.0. I was going to run that with a lightweight tube, but it was so tight that I would wind up pinching the tube and giving it a flat. And I finally figured, well, it's designed to be tubeless, let me try it. So, as I said, the tire was so tight, I wrote to Schwalbe and I said, I think there's something wrong here. Like, this tire doesn't fit my wheel. I sent them a photo and they wrote back and they said, it looks like it'll fit, you just have to, you know, and then they actually explained some of the manufacturers, including Light Bicycle, their wheels tend to run a little bit big. So I put the tire in the sun for a little while. I got the soapy water, and I managed to get it on without hurting the rim. And then once you get the tire on all the way, you kind of push in the side, and you put in. I put in what I did, about 60 milliliters of tire sealant. And once I did that, I went ahead and I used a floor pump, and I was able to pump it up right away. And that was a surprise, because usually you have to have a compressed air, an air compressor, or a pump with one of these cartridges, so that you can give like a burst of air, because a lot of times you need a big surge of air to initially seal it. I didn't have that option, but I pumped it up by hand. It worked perfectly. It pumped up, it sealed. I did, I follow. You got to kind of work the sealant all around, and this thing has been awesome. It's super light. It's sealed. It's held air. Supposedly, you don't really need to do anything with it except kind of keep it inflated, and then every 6 months add some sealant. So that's what I did. So this is a tubeless, but since we're unicyclists, it's not tubeless. It's OneBliss. That's why this is named OneBliss. Yes, it's a dad joke, but I like it. The other thing, so why go tubeless? Like, I thought that it would be that if you used a tubeless tire, it'd go flat easier, or if you hopped, it went flat. And when I started doing research and watching videos, it turns out the tubeless the real advantage is that they don't go flat. They're better at low pressure. You don't get pinch flats. Also, you can find videos. There's a guy who put a board with all kinds of nails and screws and glass, and he rides through it, and it seals. So that allows you to run a really lightweight tire without a tube and not worry about getting a flat, which often will get, puncture here or there. Now, I will say that if I do get a flat, I'm screwed, because even if I carried a tube with me, I don't think I could get a tube in this and seal it. So this is kind of an option for, I think, cruising around town, or doing a road race where you really want that lightweight and self-sealing. I would say if you were kind of doing a cross-country thing or muni out in the woods, that maybe tubeless wouldn't be the best option, although tubeless is the rage with the mountain bikers. So in any event, that's my quick review. Sorry I'm a little long-winded and not totally organized. Oh, I should mention, the rim weighs 360 grams, or the wheel. Compare that to a Dominator. Nimbus Dominator 2 weighs about 900 grams, so it's nearly a third of the weight. So really happy with it. Okay. All right, guys. Oh, and just so you know, it is in fact me. I will give you the shot of my shoes. Yep, that's it. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.